Hi, it's Corrine. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today I'm sharing a beautiful handmade journal. This is using Knitwit Collections. Hands down, one of my favorite collections from Knitwit Collections. I will be sure to link to them down in the description box below. And the collection I'm using is Hotel de Paris. They also have a YouTube channel where you can check out everything that comes in the collection. So I'll link to that as well. For my inside journal pages, I'm using this Koala 32-pound paper. I also sometimes use the 66-pound Koala paper. This is similar to Epson paper, but the 66-pound is pretty thick. So I reserve that paper for like these elements, the ephemera in the kit that I plan to use. For the outside covers, I don't want something that thick, so I use the Epson 48-pound premium presentation matte paper. So just depending on what I'm printing out depends on the thickness of the paper. So what I did is started with this 32-pound because it's a little bit thicker than copy paper, and I cut my pieces down to 4x6 because those are going to be the size of my inside journal pages. And I just print them out on my printer and set them up as 4x6. So instead of printing them out larger and cutting them down afterwards, I actually have a Weir Maker's large cutter, and I cut the entire amount at one time to 4x6. I was just showing you how I cut them. I went ahead and printed them out on my Epson printer, and I then put them into the other side and printed the design paper on the back. So the design paper is using Elements ribbon strips that come in the collection. I just added them to the bottom of the notebook paper. So this way it's double-sided. Here is my, again, hands down favorite paper, the pattern paper of the flowers. And then I use the stripe paper for the inside of my journal front and back cover. I went ahead and print and cut several elements out from the Cameo. You can cut these by hand. You can use your Cricut, you can use your Brother Scan and Cut. I have a Cameo, a silhouette Cameo, so I tend to use that. I cut 2 pieces of chipboard, 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. My pattern paper I print out, there's one that's completed that I did off screen. My pattern paper I print out a little bit larger. I'm just going to cut it to the pattern itself so I can kind of eyeball where the chipboard piece goes. While I'm at it, I do go ahead and cut out some ephemera, just the easy pieces that I didn't need my silhouette Cameo for. And I'm using some Beacon Fabri-Tac. I will completely glue that down and wrap this the same way I would wrap the front and back cover of a mini album. I do like to press that down with my brayer to really make sure that's adhered well. And I'm just cutting off some excess, eyeballing it with some scissors. I'll go around the entire perimeter with some double-sided tape, press that down with my bone folder, and now I'm going to miter the corners using this metal corner piece. You can eyeball that, you can mark it with a pencil and then cut it, completely up to you. I do like to take my stylus and go around it to just make sure I get a good crease before I wrap the paper around. And then I'll remove the release paper, add a little bit of glue because I like it really crisp on the edges. And then you need to get rid of these little extra pieces so they do not cause bulk when you fold it over. You want to kind of tuck those pieces in before you wrap the paper. This will give you a much cleaner look. So again, I'm using my bone folder to really press it down and my brayer as well. And I go around all the corners and press it down. It just gives it a very nice look. When I'm trying to really get a piece of paper straight, I like to use double-sided tape. I will take off just the top portion of the double-sided tape. This way you can still move it around, get it exactly where you want. Once you're happy, press that down. Now you can go back, lift your pattern paper, take off the backing for the rest of the tape, and then I like to add a little bit of wet glue as well. Is this necessary? Probably not, but I like to especially add it right where that flower pattern paper is, in case the tape didn't hold it down well enough. Between the two of them, it'll hold it down perfectly. So here's my front and back cover, and here's how it's going to look with all the journal pages on the inside. And I picked out some cinch binding wires in the 1-inch. So here I was looking at it. I planned on binding it to the left side of the page, but at the last minute I decided to bind it at the top. Therefore, I had to reprint that pattern paper out with the digital stamp in the correct orientation. So I just printed another one, and that stamp you see there is one of their elements that comes in the collection. I had printed that out onto the pattern paper, so I wanted to make sure it was in the correct orientation. Therefore, I printed it out again and adhered it on top. That's one of the many things I love about Knitwit Collections and the digital collection, is if you change your mind, you can just print out another piece for what you need. So once I've adhered that down, I'm happy with it, and it's in the correct orientation. So when I flip open the journal, it'll look correct. I love this digital stamp that I was able to add that, and you'll see that I add it in another couple of places. So of course I have Tilly, my little kitten, with me. She is obsessed with my craft room. The minute I walk into it, she's right there watching everything that I'm doing. She's a sweetheart. She's a lot of fun to have around, and she's always next to me. So here I just wanted to give you a quick glimpse of her. She's very playful and mischievous. So here, as I'm working on the album, this is my viewpoint. She's always laying right next to me, whether I'm over on another desk or working on my main desk. She's such a sweetheart. She's actually laying behind me right now, sleeping as I'm doing the voiceover. So back to the journal, I pulled out my cinch, my We Are Memory Keepers, and you can easily measure this. I like to just kind of eyeball it. So I put in the cover and just tried to eyeball it. Then what I like to do to double check before I start cutting into my papers is I pull out a piece of scrap paper to the exact same size as my album and just cut it. Just kind of moving around the ruler and moving it till I'm happy with it. If I'm not happy with it, I just slice off that. I use my cutter, slice that off, and try it again. And once I get something I'm happy with, I will go through and add the holes to the top of my album. So I quickly go through, do all the journaling pages on the inside, making sure that they're completely even at the top before I go through and cut them. So now I'll do my back page. And as I previously mentioned, I pull out some cinch wires. I'm using the 1-inch because my journal is pretty thick. So I'll just cut where I need it. I like to cut off those extra edges. And then you want to go ahead and feed your inside pages on first. If you've lined them up correctly, you should be able to do them all at once, just being careful. Then you want to put your front cover down and then your back cover kissing the front cover. So the back side of your front cover. Hope that makes sense. But if you are a little confused, they have great instructions that come with them. So once I was able to bind this and I was happy with it, I'm going to decorate the inside of the journal and then work on the outside. I thought it would be easier in case I had a little bit of bulk on the outside. So I'm basically using the same flowers. These are my favorite cluster from the collection. They come in a cluster like this. They also provide separate flowers as well, just depending on what you're designing. And I'm working with the bundled collection. If you work with the bundled collection, you get all the pattern papers, all the solid papers. You won't get any duplicates, and you'll get everything for 20% less than if you ordered it separate. But if that's all you want is the elements, or if that's all you want is the pattern papers, you can buy them that way as well. So I did print out, I wasn't sure what I wanted to use. I printed out quite a few things. All of these were using that 66-pound paper, and you can get really great results if you set your printer to high quality. I use an Epson printer. I am very happy with it. I print a ton, and I'm using the EcoTank 8550. I only have to replace my ink probably about once a year, and I use it for business. I use it for my hobby. I use it for all my household items. So it's very cost effective. So I went ahead and layered on just one layer of the flowers. I am tucking in a few of those little tickets, and then I added that beautiful clock. So for the front cover, again, I wanted to use this cluster of flowers. They're my absolute favorite from this collection, but it looked like I needed, they blended in a little too much, so I needed something in between. So I have a scrap piece of black cardstock, and I was trying to decide if I wanted black, which I definitely will. And then this piece here, again, that's one of their digital stamps that come in the collection. I just used one of the colors from the collection, filled it in the paper, and then I'm cutting out a piece of chipboard because I like that little bit of dimension on the front of my album. So I cut a black piece of chipboard to be a little bit larger than my front piece. And I wasn't sure which color I wanted to go with. Here I'll give you a close-up. As you can see, that stripe paper that comes in the collection, I just printed out just the solid of the lighter color and the darker color to decide which I wanted to use for my front cover. I don't let anything go to waste. I do use that in the back of the album. And once I was happy with that, I'm gonna just kind of lay everything out. I really like the look of this. I'm going to go ahead and glue that pattern paper, or this, it's actually a solid paper, to my black chipboard. Adhere my black chipboard down, and that gives it just a perfect amount of dimension. I'm going to add this beautiful dress form. And then for my flowers, I did want a little bit more dimension, so I had another dress form already print and cut out. I'm going to use that as my guide and cut down a piece of the layers of the flowers behind it, because that dress form, being that I used the thicker paper, it's a little bit dimensional, so I wanted it all to lay flush and even. So by cutting that back piece, that back layer, it lays perfectly flush. So again, I'll use my Fabri-Tac, adhere that down, and I will tuck in that tiny little postcard. So this postcard is beautiful. It comes in the collection. I backed it on a piece of the black solid paper from the collection as well. And you can print that to a regular size postcard. I was able to scale it down to what I needed. So again, I didn't want any of this to go to waste. I added this to the back cover, and I'm just gluing just the left and bottom of this dress form. This way it can be used as a little pocket. And I added those tickets as well. I added that pattern paper in the middle of the journal just as a decorative piece. So again, I'm going to add another one of these little postcards to it and another clock. They have lots of labels that come in the collection. This is one of them where it says take note. I cut a little bit, about a third of the clock off, and I'll adhere that to the left top of the page. And this is that extra paper that I printed out that I didn't use. I backed it to each other so it has pattern paper on the front and the back, and tuck that into the dress form in the back of the journal. So I'm adding a few of these beautiful gold. It's a glitter paper. It's the smoky quartz paper. I used a Prima die cut to cut those little circles out. This gives it a little bit of a flat embellishment, so it gives it a little bit of bling to the album. I added a few to the front page as well. So the next day when I woke up, I had an idea to take that same digital stamp and print it out onto the flowers. So I decided I wanted to finish my album that way. So I, again, printed them out again. And here I added the digital stamp only to the left side of the flower. I also did it to the right side of the flower because I didn't know if I wanted all of that on there or just on the one side. I end up using this one here where it's digital on the left and the right hand side. So pretty. Again, this is a digital element in the collection. I added it on top of this cluster printed it with my Silhouette Cameo and had my Silhouette Cameo cut it out. And it was easy to replace what I did. I just had to scrape off one of those little glitter papers, add my new printed piece, printed and cut piece. I used a scrap piece of paper that I had there. I don't let anything go to waste if I can help it. I adhered that down, and then I just had to add another, I didn't have to, but I wanted to add that little glitter confetti piece to the front. So here's a closer look of my journal. Again, this journal is a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. The inside pages are 4 by 6. And this is my hands down favorite collection of Knitwit collections. And that's not an easy thing to decide because they have so many beautiful collections to choose from. I will link them down in the description box. I appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you've enjoyed this process. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.